Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're stepping way outside the world of polymer duty pistols and budget blasters, and we're diving headfirst into the absolute stratosphere of 9mm handguns. These aren't the guns you grab when you're trying to save a few bucks. These are the ones you buy when money is genuinely no object, and you want something that feels like it was forged by the gods of steel and precision. Think private jets, Swiss watches, and Italian sports cars, but in handgun form. 10 pistols, all chambered in good old 9mm parabellum, all costing more than most people's cars. If you've ever wondered what happens when the best gunsmiths on the planet stop caring about price tags and just chase perfection, keep watching, because this is that list for 2025. Let's kick things off with the one that basically redefined what a carry-ready 9mm can do, the Staccato XC. Picture this. You take the classic 2011 double-stack frame that John Browning would have dreamed up if he'd lived another century, you stretch it into a full-size beast, and then you hand it to a team of Texas gunsmiths who treat every single gun like it's headed to the USPSA Nationals. The result is pure magic. Overall length sits right at 8.1 inches, height is 5.9 inches with the mag in place, and it tips the scales at about 39 ounces unloaded, heavy enough to soak up recoil but still totally concealable with the right holster. Up front, you've got a 5-inch bull barrel that's seamlessly blended into a built-in single-port compensator. No threads, no add-ons, just one clean unit that vents gas straight up and kills muzzle rise dead. That combo, plus the super low bore axis of the 2011 platform, means this thing shoots flatter than almost anything with a slide. Run it with a red dot, and you can literally watch the optic lift maybe a 1/4 inch and settle right back on target before your brain even registers the bang. Factory flush mags hold 17+1, but the 140mm extended tubes push you to 20C+1 without looking goofy. The slide has deep forward and rear serrations that bite hard, DLC black finish that laughs at holster wear, and it's cut from the factory for pretty much every mini red dot footprint on the planet. Plates included, then there's the trigger. Most of them break between 2.3 and 2.7 pounds, perfectly flat-faced, zero creep, and a reset so short you'll swear it's cheating. Every XC is hand-fitted, hand-tested, and live fire checked before it leaves the building, so out of the box, it already runs softer and faster than 99% of custom guns people wait a year for. Downsides? Yeah, it's not cheap. Base models start around $499, and a fully decked out version with threaded barrel, bronze finish, and extra mags can crack $5,000 easy. It's also a little wider than a polymer duty gun, so deep concealment takes some planning, and spare parts aren't sitting on every shelf in America yet. But honestly, once you send a couple mags through it and watch splits in the low 0.4 at 15 yards, you stop caring about the price tag. This isn't just another 2011. This is the pistol that shows up at the range, makes everyone else's race gun feel slow, and has strangers walking over asking if they can shoot it just once. The Staccato XC isn't just a flex, it's the new benchmark, and it's the reason a lot of top shooters quietly retired their old open guns and went back to iron sights or dots in limited division. If you're the type who wants the absolute best 9mm money can buy and you actually plan on shooting the wheels off it, this is where the list starts for a reason. From there, the bar climbs into the clouds when we step into Nighthawk custom territory with the TRS Comp. These guys don't run an assembly line, they run a workshop full of artists, and every single TRS Comp is built from start to finish by one master gunsmith and one gunsmith only. We're talking a full-size double-stack 1911 that starts life as billets of steel and ends up as something you'd swear was machined out of a solid block. Overall length is 8.7 inches, height comes in at 5.8 inches with the standard 17-round magazine, and unloaded weight sits right around 40 ounces, giving it that perfect authoritative feel in the hand without being a boat anchor. Up front, you get a gorgeous 5-inch match-grade barrel that's crowned and seamlessly blended into a one-piece integrated compensator. No threads, no separate parts. Just pure Nighthawk wizardry that vents gas upward and turns 9mm recoil into a gentle push instead of a snap. The bore axis is classic 1911 low, but the double stack frame is widened just enough for 17+1 capacity while still keeping that narrow, hand-filling grip angle we all love. Slide to frame fit is absurd. Most owners brag you literally can't get a 0.001-inch feeler gauge in there, and the slide glides like it's floating on ball bearings. The trigger is the stuff of legend, usually breaking right at 3 pounds, or a hair under, flat-faced, zero take-up, zero over travel, and a reset you can feel with your soul. Serrations are deep, wide, and perfectly placed front and rear. The black nitride finish is so glossy it looks wet even after 1,000 rounds. And every edge is melted or hand-beveled until the gun feels like a river stone in your palm. It ships optics ready with a plate system, but most people run it with the adjustable target rear and fiber optic front because it looks so damn good that way. Pros: it's stupid accurate, ridiculously close to open gun flat with major gun reliability, and every single part is hand-fitted and test-fired by the same guy who signed the box. Downsides are few but real. Base price starts around 5 ounces, 199, and can sail past 8 grand once you pick engraving, different grip textures, or exotic finishes. Parts are basically unicorn tiers, and lead time can stretch to 18 months if you go wild on the options. You can absolutely carry it, plenty of people do. But let's be honest, most TRS comps spend their lives either smoking USPSA stages or living in climate-controlled safes waiting for the next big match or the next generation of the family to inherit them. This isn't a pistol you buy to shoot once in a while. This is the one you buy when you want the finest double-stack 1911 on the planet with your name literally on the build sheet. When that box shows up and you finally rack the slide for the first time, you'll understand why people say owning a Nighthawk isn't just ownership, it's membership in a very small, very obsessed club. Let me introduce you to the Laugo Alien full kit, straight out of the Czech Republic and easily the most "what the hell am I even holding" pistol on the planet in 2025. This thing looks like a prop from a sci-fi movie that somehow wandered onto a USPSA stage and started winning majors. Overall length is 8.27 inches with the standard top end. Height is a crazy low 5.55 inches thanks to the gas-delayed blowback system, and that fixed barrel that sits just 1.7 millimeters above the top of your middle finger. The lowest bore axis ever put into a production handgun, period. Unloaded, it's only 35 ounces, yet it still feels rock solid because the reciprocating mass is only the slide on top, not the whole barrel flipping around like every other pistol you've ever shot. That fixed barrel is a 4.8-inch match-grade tube that never moves. So your red dot literally lifts maybe the thickness of a credit card and drops right back to zero. People shoot sub 0.15 splits at 25 yards the first time they pick one up, and then just stare at the timer trying to figure out what just happened. The trigger is an absolute cheat code, usually right at 2 pounds or just under, flat-faced, rolling brake, with almost no take-up and a reset you can't even feel, just hear. Capacity is 17+1 with flush mags that look tiny because the grip is so thin and ergonomic. The real party trick is the modular top-end system. Push one takedown lever, the entire upper pops off in 3 seconds, and you can swap to an iron sight top, a compensated top, or a threaded top without ever losing zero because the barrel never leaves the upper assembly. The full kit ships with the pistol. 3 complete top ends, a holster, 4 magazines, a cleaning kit, and a hard case for around 5 grand. Downsides? Magazines are expensive and still a little hard to find outside Europe. The grip safety takes a couple sessions to love if you're used to Glocks. And the whole thing is so different that your muscle memory will hate you for the first 100 rounds. But once your brain rewires itself, everything else you own suddenly feels like it's shooting from the hip. It's optics ready out of the box for pretty much any footprint. The gas piston system keeps it stupid clean even with suppressors, and the recoil impulse is so soft and straight back that even +P+ feels like target ammo. This isn't just flat shooting. This is, did I actually fire that round, or did the timer lie? Territory. At $5,000, the full kit is absolutely one of the most expensive 9mm money can buy, but it's also the only pistol I've ever shot where seasoned open gun shooters put it down after 1 mag, Look at the target and quietly say, well, I guess we're all obsolete now. Wilson Combat EDC X9, the double stack that somehow kept every ounce of single-action sole while stuffing modern magazines into the grip. Overall length is a super concealable 7.4 inches. With the flush mag, height is only 5.25 inches. And even fully loaded with 18+1, it still comes in under 34 ounces thanks to the aluminum frame and smart engineering. Up front, you've got a 4-inch bushingless bull barrel that's coned and hand-fitted so tight it looks like the slide and barrel grew together. The slide-to-frame fit is stupid good. We're talking zero play in any direction, and the rails are hand-lapped until the gun glides like it's on ice. Trigger breaks right around 3.5 to 4 pounds out of the box. Flat-faced, no creep, no over-travel. And a reset so short you'll catch yourself dry firing it on the couch at night just because it feels that satisfying. Grip is pure 1911 DNA, but stretched just enough for 15-round flush mags or 18-round extended ones. And the textured G10 panels lock your hand in place like it was molded for you personally. It ships with front and rear slide serrations that actually work, a high-cut trigger guard, an extended mag release that's fast but won't dump your mag accidentally, and it's optics ready with Wilson's plate system if you want to run a dot. Reliability is boring in the best way. Thousands and thousands of rounds of every kind of ammo you can think of. No malfunctions, no drama. Concealability is unreal for a metal double stack. It disappears under a t-shirt with a good holster. And the 1911 grip angle means it points exactly where your muscle memory expects it to. Downsides? Base price sits right around $3,210 and climbs fast once you start adding armor-tough finishes, rail options, or the threaded barrel kit. And mags are pricey at about $90 each, but they're bomb-proof. You're also stuck with a manual safety and grip safety, so if you're coming from striker-fired world, there's a short learning curve. But once you shoot it, everything else feels thick and sloppy. This isn't a carry optics gun trying to wear 1911 clothes. This is the real deal with modern capacity, accuracy that'll embarrass most full-size guns, and that soulful single-action feel that made the 1911 famous in the first place. A ton of pros, law enforcement guys, and regular folks who just love 1911s have quietly made the EDC X9 their daily driver because it finally answers the question nobody else could. How do you keep everything we love about the 1911 and still stay in the fight when the mags are big? Wilson Combat didn't just build a pistol. They built the bridge between classic and modern, and at $3,200, it's honestly the steal of this entire list when you consider what you're getting. If you've ever wished for a high-capacity 1911 that doesn't feel like a compromise, congratulations, your prayer got answered, and it's wearing Wilson Combat's name on the slide. Let's slow things down for a second and talk about something that feels like it belongs in a glass case in Munich, the Korth PRS. Right from the moment you hear that name, you know this isn't some polymer striker-fired whatever. This is German old-world gunsmithing poured into a modern all-steel 9mm semi-auto that honestly feels unfair to everything else on the table. Overall length comes in at 8.7 inches, height is 5.9 inches with the flush mag, and unloaded it's a solid 43 ounces of, yes, I was machined from a single billet and I'm proud of it. Up front, you get a cold hammer forged 5-inch match barrel that's hand-lapped until the inside looks like a mirror, then locked into a slide and frame fits so tight that racking it makes that legendary Korth thunk people lose their minds over, like a bank vault closing in slow motion. The flats are polished so deep you can fix your hair in them. The serrations are sharp enough to remind your fingers who's boss, and every single part is done by hand. No mim, no shortcuts. Just a master gunsmith who actually signs the inside of the slide when he decides it's perfect. The single-action trigger breaks like the thinnest glass rod you've ever snapped, consistently right around 2.6 to 2.9 pounds with zero creep and almost no over-travel. It's the kind of pull that makes grown men whisper profanity the first time they feel it. Capacity is 8+1 with the standard mag, or 9+1 if you run the extended plate, which feels exactly right, because the PRS never pretended to be a magazine dump race gun. Sights are low profile, fixed with a fiber optic front that glows like it's angry, and the hand-checkered walnut grips look and feel like they were carved specifically for your hand. Shoot it and you'll punch sub 1.5-inch groups at 25 yards all day. Recoil is soft and straight back thanks to the weight and that low-bore axis. And the whole experience is so refined, it's almost meditative. Downsides, it's heavy. Capacity is modest by today's standards. Holsters are basically custom only, and spare parts are rarer than honest politicians. Starting just north of $4,000 and climbing fast once you add engraving or exotic wood, most Korth PRS pistols spend their lives on a walnut stand under museum lighting instead of on a belt. But when you finally wrap your hand around one and send a few slow, perfect strings downrange, every shot feels like a ritual. Every click of the mag release sounds like fine watchmaking. And you totally understand why some collectors call this the most perfect production 9mm ever made. It's not here to win timer wars. It's here to remind you that perfection still exists. And honestly, it's pretty hard to argue with that. Coming in at Cabot guns, specifically the Icon series and 9mm, these aren't pistols in the normal sense. These are rolling, functioning pieces of high art that somebody figured out how to make cycle 115-grain hollow points without missing a beat. We're talking full bespoke builds where the customer sits down with the master engraver and the metallurgist for months, sometimes over a year, picking every single detail. Want a slide forged from Gibeon meteorite that fell to Earth 50,000 years ago? Done. Want the frame hand-carved from 300-year-old Turkish walnut with 24-karat gold inlays depicting your family crest? They've done it. Want a Damascus slide with a pattern so tight it looks like wood grain until you get up close and realize it's 400 layers of hand-folded steel? Yeah, that's Tuesday for these guys. Base Icon builds start right around $5,000, but the second you go full unicorn, the price rockets past 25, 35, even 75 grand without breaking a sweat. Dimension-wise, you're looking at a classic government-length 1911 footprint, roughly 8.7 inches overall, 5.5 inches tall with standard mags, 5-inch match-grade barrel, single-stack magazine holding 8+1, and a weight that usually lands between 38 and 45 ounces, depending on how much precious metal they poured into it. The trigger breaks at a measured 2 pounds on average, the slide-to-frame fit is sub-thousandth tolerances, and every surface is either mirror polished, deep relief engraved, or blued so perfect it looks wet. They use proprietary recoil spring tuning and hand-lapped internals, so even with that heavy metal build, the gun still cycles softer than most aluminum frame wonders. The upside is obvious. You're holding something literally no one else on Earth has. It'll outshoot 99% of production guns on pure accuracy alone. And 20 years from now, it'll probably be worth double what you paid. The downside? Well, you're not going to toss this in a range bag and beat it up at a carbine class. And good luck finding a holster that doesn't scratch a $50,000 work of art. Insurance riders, climate-controlled safes, and a healthy dose of paranoia come standard with ownership. But honestly, that's the point. A Cabot Icon isn't a tool. It's a legacy piece, a conversation that starts with, "Holy crap, is that real meteorite?" and ends with you grinning like an idiot every time you open the safe. If you ever get the chance to handle one in person, do it, because some things you just have to feel to believe, and this is one of them. Let's talk about the one that makes even seasoned USPSA Grand Masters sweat a little, a full custom shop Staccato XL. Start with the already insane factory foundation. A 5.4-inch bull barrel, island profile with an integrated single-port compensator up top. Full-length dust cover that brings the overall length to right around 8.9 inches. Height of 5.9 inches with the mag in, and a weight pushing 42 to 45 ounces unloaded, depending on whether you went with the steel grip or the lighter X Series aluminum frame. Slide is the long, wide-body 2011 pattern, optics ready with the Staccato C2 footprint, and those deep front and rear serrations that look like shark gills. Factory XLs are already stupid flat. But when you send one through the Staccato Custom shop, or one of the big-name builders like Hayes or Phoenix Trinity, that's when it turns into a cheat code. They'll hand-lap the barrel to the slide until the lockup is mirror perfect, polish the feed ramp and breech face to a chrome shine, install a hand-fitted Koenig hammer and sear, Tune the trigger down to a rolling break at 1.5 to 2 pounds with zero creep and almost no over travel, and then throw on whatever DLC, PVD, or gold TIN finish you dreamed up. Some guys go full race mode with a titanium compensator, chilly aggressive magwell, and a grip stippled so hard it feels like 60 grit sandpaper glued to your palm. Others keep it classy with hand-checkered front straps and G10 panels. The gun ships with 126mm or 140mm magazines, holding 20 or 23 reloadable rounds. And because the bore axis is already low, and the comp is perfectly timed, the dot literally lifts maybe half an inch and settles right back before your brain even registers recoil. Split times in the .13 to 15 range at 10 yards become boringly routine, and you can run an entire major match without ever seeing the front sight lift out of the notch. Downsides? Well, it's big, heavy, and the grip is fat. Concealed carry is technically possible, but you're printing like a 2A4 under a t-shirt. Mags and parts are pricey. And if you ever drop it on concrete, you'll cry harder than when your dog dies because a single scratch on that $200 Cerakote job hurts the soul. But for pure open division or limited division domination, nothing on the planet touches a properly built custom XL. Factory models start around $3,590, but 6, sometimes 7 grand later, you're holding a pistol that doesn't just win matches, it embarrasses the timer. Guys retire them after a single season, not because they're worn out, but because they're too pretty to risk anymore. It's the 2011 platform taken to its absolute limit. And if you ever get to send a couple hundred rounds through one, you'll understand why some shooters sell cars, motorcycles, even kidneys to own one. Now let's slow things down and talk about a pistol that doesn't need compensators, red dots, or 20-round mags to embarrass everything else on the line. The Sig Sauer P210 Legend Target. This is the gun that old-school bullseye shooters mention in the same breath as fine Swiss watches and hand-built rifles. Overall length sits at a classic 8.4 inches. Height is 5.5 inches with those gorgeous walnut target grips that fill your hand like they were sculpted for you personally. And the weight comes in right around 36 to 37 ounces with an empty magazine, giving it that perfect point and balance feel that makes one-hole groups at 25 yards feel almost accidental. Up front, you've got a 4.7-inch match-grade barrel that's cold hammer forged and then hand-lapped to tolerances most companies can only dream about. The slide-to-frame fit is so tight you'll swear they glued it together at the factory, and the single-action trigger is fully adjustable down to a glass crisp 2.5 to 3 pounds with zero take-up and a break so clean it's borderline addictive. The bore axis is ridiculously low for a classic all-steel design, which means muzzle flip is almost non-existent even with hot 147 grain loads. And the sights are fully adjustable target units that click with that satisfying precision you expect from something wearing the SIG name. Capacity is a traditional 8+1 because this isn't a race gun, it's a scalpel. Recoil is soft and straight back into the palm, follow-ups are eerily accurate. And the reset is short and audible enough that you can ride it like a 1911 on steroids. Downsides? It's not drop safe by modern striker standards. Mags are expensive and only hold 8, and concealed carry is a stretch unless you're built like a linebacker and love printing. Spare parts can be a hunt too, but none of that matters when you're punching sub 1-inch groups at 50 yards offhand and watching the spotter next to you just shake his head. At just over $2,000, it's the least expensive pistol on this list by a mile. Yet, pound for pound, it might be the most refined. Collectors fight over the limited runs, bullseye champions refuse to shoot anything else, and every time a new batch lands at the distributor, the waitlist fills up before the crates are even opened. The P210 Legend Target isn't trying to be the fastest or the flashiest. It's quietly reminding the entire industry that pure mechanical accuracy still matters. And when you finally wrap your hand around one and feel that legendary lockup, you'll realize some legends never actually died. They just got a little polish and came back better than ever. Arsenal Firearms F2011A1, the only production handgun on Earth that lets you live out your Terminator 2 fantasies in 9mm. Imagine 2 complete 1911s surgically fused at the hip. twin 5-inch barrels sitting side by side with just 1 millimeter of separation, 2 slides that move in perfect synchronization, 2 recoil springs, 2 disconnectors, all tied together by a single trigger that drops both hammers at once. Overall length is 8.66 inches, height is about 5.7 inches with the mag in, but the real kicker is the width, 2.36 inches across the slide, almost 2 inches at the grip with those chunky double-stack mags that hold 8 rounds per side for a total of 16 plus 2 in the chambers. Unloaded weight is a hefty 4.1 pounds of blued steel and walnut. So this thing feels like a brick that somehow shoots twice as fast as everything else. Pull that beautifully crisp 4-pound single-action trigger, and both barrels fire simultaneously. At 25 yards, you'll put 2 9mm holes so close they're practically kissing, usually under an inch apart with good ammo. The gas system is cleverly ported, so recoil actually feels softer than a single-barrel government model because the forces cancel each other out sideways. You get real 1911 thumb safety, grip safety, and that classic flat mainspring housing, but everything is doubled up like a mirror image. Downsides, where do I start? It's too wide for pretty much any holster ever made. Spare magazines cost more than some complete pistols, and if you limp wrist it even a little, you'll get the world's most expensive double feed. Concealed carry is a hilarious thought. This is an open carry only, range toy, safe queen conversation piece that costs around $6.5 grand, depending on whether you go blued, duotone, or one of the limited engraved versions. But the first time you ring a 12-inch plate at 50 yards with 2 rounds in under half a second, and watch everyone at the range lose their minds, you'll get it. Accuracy is stupid good. Reliability is surprisingly solid once you feed it quality ammo. And the cool factor is off the charts. Arsenal basically looked at the 1911 and said, "Hold my beer," then built the most gloriously unnecessary handgun money can buy. It's not practical, it's not subtle, and it's absolutely not for everyone. But if you want the one pistol that guarantees nobody else at the gun club has anything remotely like it. The AF 2011 A1 is pure, unfiltered, double-barreled awesome. And finally, we close this insane journey with the undisputed monarch of the entire list, the Beretta 92 FS Fusion, straight out of the Galleria workshop in Gardone Valtrompia, Italy, where the words budget and deadline simply do not exist. Start with the legendary 92 FS platform that's been dropping bad guys and winning wars since the 1980s. Then hand it over to Beretta's master engravers, goldsmiths, and stock makers and tell them to go absolutely wild. Overall length is the classic 8.5 inches, height 5.4 inches, weight around 34 ounces unloaded. But none of those numbers matter when every square millimeter of steel is covered in deep relief scrollwork that looks like it belongs in a Renaissance museum. The slide and frame are hand polished to a mirror that would make a diamond jealous. Then chased with 24-karat gold inlays that trace floral patterns, mythical creatures, or whatever custom theme the buyer dreamed up. The trigger, safety, mag, release. Every single part is hand-fitted until the double-action pull feels like stirring warm butter, and the single-action brake is a glassy 4 pounds with 0 creep. Exhibition-grade walnut grips are carved in 3D relief, inlaid with gold wire and tiny mother-of-pearl crests, and checkered so finely you can feel every line with your fingertips. It still runs 15+1 of 9mm, still has the rock-solid open-top slide design that eats any ammo you feed it, and the famous Brigadier-style slide, cuts that make it instantly recognizable. Downsides? There are none that matter to the people who buy these. Sure, it's heavy for all-day carry. Spare parts are whatever the factory feels like sending you, and dropping it would probably count as a federal crime against art. But nobody is stuffing a $35,000 to $75,000 Fusion under a t-shirt. These are commissioned pieces, often one of one, delivered in handmade wooden cases lined with Italian velvet, complete with matching gold-trimmed tools, and a certificate signed by the artisans. When you crack open the safe at night and the light hits those gold inlays just right, you're not looking at a pistol anymore. You're looking at rolling firearms history that happens to go bang if you ever decide to take it out of the case. The Beretta 92 FS Fusion isn't the fastest, the flattest, or the highest capacity gun on this list. But it is the ultimate reminder that sometimes a handgun can transcend function and become pure, breathtaking art. And when you own one, you don't just own the most expensive 9mm money can buy in 2025. You own a legacy that will still be turning heads 100 years from now. So, there you have it. 10 9mm pistols that cost more than most motorcycles, each one representing a different flavor of insane. Some are built to dominate the timer, some are built to dominate the display case, and a couple somehow manage to do both. At the end of the day, a $17 Glock will keep you just as safe as any of these. But safe was never the point. These exist because a handful of craftsmen and dreamers decided average simply wasn't good enough. If you ever get the chance to hold one, or better yet shoot one, take it. You'll walk away understanding that sometimes the price tag isn't about the money. It's about owning something that reminds you perfection is still possible. Drop a comment and let me know which one you'd pick if money truly wasn't an issue. And we'll see you in the next one. Stay safe, shoot straight, and we'll talk soon.